Hello. Right, so I'm just going to tell you some shit about myself. I've got 2 friends with benefits. I used to have 3, but then the Tories said she's no longer disabled. And my name is Shaun Paczowski, but don't let the surname fool you, because it is Polish, but me, really lazy. Because that's the stereotype, isn't it? Like hard-working builder sorts, which is mental to me, because the only thing I've ever bricked is my sister's window. And I'm not a fan of Brexit. I can't be with this surname. Just imagine family gatherings. Do you remember your great-grandma? Yeah, fuck her, the immigrant bitch. It's not gonna fly. But what I don't understand about Brexit is if you hate foreigners that much, just go and build your own island. It's easy. All you need is a spade, a bit of commitment. Or just go to another country, pick a little bit, and then make it really English, like we did with Benidorm. But I like to think that in Benidorm, there is a Spanish version of Tommy Robinson. His name's Torres Rubino. Oh, and he's not happy. He's not happy about these English grooving gangs. Really pissed off. He was accused of having some grooving people within his own ranks. Turned out it was flamenco, so it was fine. But I like to watch a lot of TV as well. I was watching that program about the undateable people. If you've not seen it, the premise of the show is that they take people that have got problems and they set them up on dates with other people that have got problems. It's pretty tough viewing, but it is nice to know that no matter how undateable some people are, some of them do still get to go to Fernando's. And I like watching Disney films as well. So if you've not seen it, watch Zootopia. Because that teaches you that it doesn't matter what race or religion we all are, we can all live alongside each other happily. But I do think that when they made that film, they were just making up for past mistakes. Because I grew up watching The Lion King. Well, that taught me, never trust a family member if they're a different colour. And then you got Toy Story. That film taught me, when I leave the room, all my toys come to life and start bitching about the way they've been treated. So reflecting on that as an adult, I got all my toys, I line them up, I apologise to them for everything that they've been through. And then for their own benefit, I set them on fire. But in my defence, I did not know that they were conscious beings when I bought them from Love Honey. And finally, you got Frozen. Well, that taught me is that everyone can make mistakes, even Disney, because that film was fucking shit. But I live in Manchester. I've just moved back there recently. Obviously, I lived there before, and then I moved down to Worcester for a while. And when I started my new job down there, one of my new colleagues was a Scouse guy. Now, what I discovered, that whole Manchester-Liverpool rivalry, that gets completely pushed aside when you meet each other down south. As soon as you have one conversation where you go, weird down here, innit? Have you noticed they get upset when you call them a dickhead? So whenever we saw each other, we'd always have a bit of banter between us. Now, one night, I walk in the pub, and I see him the other side of the room. And by the way, as well as being Scouse, he's also blind. Now, I see him the other side of the room, and I'm like, oh, shit, I've got him. This is it, I've got him. So I walk over, and I'm going, mate, I'm sick of it. He's like, what? I was like, I'm not standing for it anymore, you're taking the piss. He went, what? I went, being blind and Scouse, mate, you need to pick one disability and stick with it. Now, he pisses himself laughing and went, I'm not black. but then I looked up and all my colleagues are stood there going, no, you can't be doing... I don't know if you've ever had to explain to HR that you weren't taking the piss out of someone for their disability, you were taking the piss out of them because of where they came from. Doesn't really go down well either way. But I like it when people get offended on behalf of somebody else. Because I assume to them it feels like they've just walked into the room and taken a bullet for someone. Whereas to me it feels like somebody's walked into my kitchen, picked up my knife, stabbed themselves in the chest and gone, why? Because it's happened to me once before. Now, the start of this story, I was at a house party, I was really drunk, and I was with 2 friends. Now, they were both black guys, which is relevant. Calm down. Now, they walk up to each other and go, what up, my N-word? I've had a drink. And I'm like, no, this is bullshit. Look, what? It's like, I can't say that. And he's like, no, you can with us. You're our mate. We know you're not racist. You can say it with us. Now, as a skinny white guy, being told that you can say the N-word, it was Christmas. So the next time I see them, it's in a club, I see them the other side of the room, and I'm like, oh, shit, this is it. This is my moment. So I walk straight up to them, bold as brass, and go, what up, my neighbor? Because I'm not going to say it on fucking stage, I'm not an idiot. Now, they pissed themselves laughing, said it back to me, but then a little blonde girl appears from nowhere and goes, you can't say that. I'm like, no, I can, these are my mates, don't worry about it. So, no, you can't say that. And he's like, mate, will you tell her? And he looks at her, looks at me, and then goes, actually, Shaun, I think as my friend, you should know better than to use that word so casually. Well, anyway, that word has been used for generations to put down people of colour, and I think that you should know better. And then he takes one step behind the girl and goes, ah. What I discovered, doesn't matter what race or religion your friends are, they will all fuck you over for a laugh given half a chance. But I've actually been through a breakup recently, and I wouldn't normally talk about a breakup on stage, because for me, they're normally quite routine. You know, like, first I get upset about it, then I come to terms with it, and to get closure, I go around at 2 in the morning and shit on a doorstep. But, like, this breakup was a bit different. Like, she seemed to break up with me using compliments. Like, she said that I'm too positive and optimistic in life, which was a new one on me, because it's the first time I've ever been told, I think this relationship would work much better if you were less mentally stable. But at least you don't have to worry about that whole sex thing anymore, because, like, that is a dangerous game now. We have messed about with that far too much. We should have kept it simple. Like, if you buy a pack of condoms these days, there's a couple of weird options in there called warmth and tingle. Yeah. Now, I found out this is a hard way. If you're ever going to use one of those condoms, you need to make sure that she knows this is the time you're going to use one of those condoms. Like, put a note on the fridge, start an event on Facebook. Just make sure that she knows this is the time you're going to use one of those condoms. Because if you think that putting on a condom could be a bit of a mood killer, you should see what happens when she suddenly thinks she can feel herself getting an STD. Like, there's no coming back from it. And the last thing I'm going to finish on is, I say I admire this person. Some of my friends have called it an obsession. If you've heard of Stacey Dooley? Yeah, I've become a big fan of her recently, like, chaotically fan of her. I've got a book, I've watched all the documentaries, it's fucking amazing. But I just had the opportunity to meet her recently, and I discovered that I admire this person far too much when it's like, I can't meet her, because I'm pretty sure that if I get the chance to speak to her, I'm just going to go, nah. Like, no conversation goes uphill from there. But it's the great thing about being a fan of Stacey Dooley, it's opened my eyes to, like, all these feminist issues, because she's a strong feminist. Powers to the women. Like, catcalling, that's a big feminist issue. So there's 2 types of catcalling. There's the one where you shout, and there's the other one where you go, pss, 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 which is the universal term when you don't know the cat's name. And there's, like, slut shaming has become a bit of a thing. That's not allowed anymore. Not as popular as slut dropping, which I think is when you punch a bitch out. I don't know. And then, like, but it's the problem with feminism is that being a feminist is a lot about being Muslim, I think. And it's all fine, but then in both groups, there's a certain set of people who take it to extremes and ruin it for everyone else. Like, you could be a feminist, you're protesting against the pay gap, that's a noble cause, but then you turn around, and there's Linda, and oh, fucking hell, she's firebomb top, man. And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much. Enjoy your night.